Olympic gold, he has a professional record of 23 fights, 22 victories, with 21 big wins by knockout and only 1 defeat. He's the former British champion, former Commonwealth champion, former international champion, from London, England, the challenger, former heavyweight champion of the world, AJ Anthony Joshua. And fighting out of the blue corner, standing with his trainer Manny Robles, wearing gold and officially weighing in at 20 stone, 3 pounds, 7 ounces, aka 283.7 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one, 34 fights, 33 victories, including 22 big wins by knockout, only 1 defeat. From Imperial Valley, California, USA, proudly representing his heritage of Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico, y todos los mexicanos, the reigning, defending IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO, heavyweight champion of the world, Andy, the Destroyer, Ruiz.
Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the wrestling room. They having a clean match, okay? Good luck, God bless you. Le di la instrucción en el camerino. Vamos a la pelea y pegarle mejor, fuerte.
Here we go again. 6 months on from one of the most sensational stories in the blue ribbon division, in this most compelling and unpredictable of sports. One of the biggest, fiercely debated rematches of recent years, from the fabled garden to the cool midnight air of the desert here in Diriyah. Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua lock horns once more. The Mexican-American wrecking bull, the British boxing icon, tactics critical. Will we see repeat or revenge? Who gets centre ring? Who gets off to the better start, Matt?
Ruiz has took the centre of the ring and he's looking to try and back Joshua up behind the jab, but he's wary as well. He knows he can't just walk in on Joshua, so he's feinting, he's trying to glide, sneak his way into range. Joshua, very switched on here, trying to get that jab going, trying to keep it long.
Matt, the way he started, it's a much more, I don't know, he's pushing forward much earlier in this fight than he did last time, and he's not waiting around to have a look at Anthony Joshua or bewildered by the speed. He's straight on the front foot, and he is the aggressor immediately. That wasn't the case on the 1st of June.
Right to the body from Ruiz. He says he'll throw so many of those. Joshua's jab, crucial tonight. His legacy on the knife edge here. Ruiz's dream rise on the line as well.
Yeah, those body shots from Ruiz in the first fight did a lot of damage to Joshua, who's landing him standing straight up, and he was driving those right hands into the floating rib area, and it did a lot of damage and took the legs away from Joshua, but he's started a lot more sharper here. Joshua looks very switched on, very focused.
We noticed at the public workout how much stronger Joshua's legs look. The lithe, lean, slimmer figure coming in under 17 stone, the lightest he's ever weighed for a world heavyweight title fight. And Ruiz, almost the heaviest he has ever weighed, and one of the heaviest world heavyweight champions in recent years. It's a massive weight, but he has very fast hands, and he's got a clever boxing IQ, Ruiz.
First thing I noticed, Adam, for me was how actually relaxed Anthony Joshua is here. He's very relaxed, he's using very little energy. The short steps, he's not dancing, he's not using too much movement. It's just nice and relaxed boxing. A relaxed, nicely flowing jab also.
Steady, controlled. Those are the words that kept coming out of the camp following the plan for Joshua. Ruiz will want to come in and try and close down that range. Lovely jab from the Brit.
That was a good jab from Joshua, landing cleanly. Ruiz landed a nice right hand to the body a moment before that, but this is good from Joshua, who's keeping it nice and long. This is the range he needs to keep it at.
Jab to the body from Joshua as well, switching it up. And a right
Good
Monster right hand from Anthony Joshua.
Look at how patient he is. That got a reaction from Andy Ruiz, and look at the patience from Anthony Joshua. Great first round.
What an excellent start from Anthony Joshua. Cool, calm, focused and accurate, and damage to Andy Ruiz. And as Tony quite rightly said, he didn't rush in. He took his time there.
That was exactly the kind of start that Anthony Joshua needed. That will have settled everything down. Now he's in the driver's seat. His confidence will be coming back. He'll have total belief in the tactics of the game. And that was a beautiful right hand that shook the head of Andy Ruiz and opened up the cut. But he boxed well. He was patient. He was calm. He was relaxed. And that's why he got that right hand. That's why he was able to land that right hand.
Mark, if this was on June the 1st, he'd have rushed in like a lunatic. And this is the set that's going to be the difference going forward from Anthony Joshua. He's shown already in this first round, he's learned from previous mistakes.
Remember, he was training for Jarrell Miller, and at 5 weeks' notice, Andy Ruiz got the call and shocked the world. This time he's had a lot longer, Joshua, to prepare, but so too has Ruiz. Joshua trying to get the jab in on that damage. The white trunks and white boots and the gold of Ruiz Jr., who says he will give absolutely everything to take those belts back to Mexico. We know they'll be heading west, but where will they be stopping? Good jabs from Ruiz Jr. there. Fantastic work.
Yeah, hard double jab from Ruiz, pushing in behind, he's snapping the head back of Joshua. Joshua's knocked him into action now. He's a lot more purposeful here. He's coming forward. He's sharp now. He doesn't want to take any more of those right hands that he took in that first round.
The thing he's got to be aware of there is backing up and lifting his chin up. Now, when them double jabs landed from Andy Ruiz,
another right hand. Great shot from Joshua, and the cut opens again. Battle of the jabs at the moment. Joshua nips one in.
He's got to keep going back on the angle at him. He can't go back in straight lines lifting his head up. And he did before, but on the second time he hasn't done it, so he's coming out on the angle all the time, which takes away Andy Ruiz's right hand over the top.
All about distance, isn't it? And
absolutely.
The way he's using his feet.
Yep, and he's keeping it. This is the range he wants to fight long. Keep it long, where you can land those hard right hands, those good jabs, keeping him at that range. Good left hook.
Nice left hook after both exchanged jabs to the body, and he's looking a bit busted up. Ruiz early on in the fight, and this long spearing jab of Joshua is working a treat.
He's boxing brilliantly here. It's a lovely fluid jab. It's fluid and it's quick. Ruiz can't stop it. He can't see it coming. And the thing with Ruiz is, yes, he's cute inside, but he doesn't know what to do at this kind of range. He's lost.
Looking for the right hand again, Joshua, and a big shot as well, and Ruiz in trouble. Inside the last minute of the second, he was just unsteady there, complaining a bit about the back of the head, but it's been a really good start this for Joshua.
He's cut.
But he is cut as well by the left eye, so both cut. How did that happen?
It's a clash of heads, Adam.
Head clash caused the cut, so both cut. We knew there would be drama second time around. And there is already, with so many rounds to go.
The difference here is that Adam, AJ was cut from a head clash and Ruiz was not cut from a punch. So if this does go to points after 4 rounds, Anthony Joshua wins if Ruiz can't box on with the cut. If it goes to points because of Joshua, it goes to the points.
Joshua's boxing well here. He's boxing, he's controlling the range. He's not standing in front of Ruiz. He's not panicking. He's back on his toes. He looks nice and relaxed. His jab's good, and his right hands are really good. He's on point.
Ruiz's eye looks a real mess. Joshua cut to 6 minutes we've had, and it is absolutely fascinating.
He's already frustrated, in my opinion, Ruiz. He hasn't expected such a fleet-footed Anthony Joshua. He hasn't expected this. He didn't anticipate the speed and the quality foot movements Anthony Joshua has shown early in.
Just keep him on the jab and come off to the side.
Ian Gatt, the cutsman in Joshua's corner. Edgar Jaso over in Ruiz's corner, called into action early. Joshua, who has Rob McCracken and Joby Clayton and Angel Hernandez, the two new coaches in there as well. They said it's worked fantastically. 3 voices with Rob leading it.
Yeah, well, I think it's Robert's the guy talking there, and he's telling him, just keep him on the end of that. You see the jab of Ruiz, the double jab, knocking the head back of Joshua, but again, feinting the jab and landing that left hook. Joshua's boxing well here. He's keeping that a good range. He's got to be careful because Ruiz is dangerous behind that double jab as well, and he's going to look to bring that right hand in too.
WBA Super, IBF, WBO, and also the IBO heavyweight titles on the line. This was the round in Madison Square Garden where it exploded into life. Remember, Anthony Joshua knocking down Andy Ruiz and then being caught in the firefest himself with a left hook to the temple. And that bewildered him, and he never really recovered, and Ruiz took him apart.
Ruiz looks the guy who's more flustered with the cut. He looks the guy who's in more of a rush and a panic now. AJ's still sticking to his game plan. Fleet-footed, as I said before, and he's got to stick to this game plan. He may not enjoy doing this, Adam and Matt, but he has to do this. This is the approach he has to take in this fight.
Very light on his feet, Joshua, but we know how quick Ruiz is when he breaks the distance down, and especially with that jab. Watch the body shots as well of Ruiz, who will look to throw plenty of leather. But what about that weight he's carrying?
He's got to be so careful pulling out with his chin up there. His right hand needs to be tight to his face, and he's thinking about what's coming at him on the way out, Adam.
You know, he started so well here, Joshua. He's just got to keep this going. He's got to box a very disciplined fight. Cannot afford to lose concentration or get complacent. Listen to Rob McCracken in the corner. He was giving him the correct advice in between rounds. He said, you're boxing well. Keep him on the end of that jab. When you finish punching, get off to the sides.
As you'll know, Matt, when you're going through a fight like this and you're the one in control of the pace, you never tire. You're in control, so you don't feel the pace. And I feel this is at Anthony Joshua's pace, and the slower feet of Ruiz are really struggling to get into range of Anthony Joshua and land anything. But what I don't like is he can't allow Ruiz to keep creeping in. He's got to get his respect, which I feel he got in that first round with a heavy right hand, but he can't allow him to keep creeping in like he is now. He's got to sting him and make him feel it.
Ruiz has used Michael Hunter for plenty of rounds of sparring because he believed Joshua would come in light and look to box on the back foot, as he is at times here. And Joshua has had a string of sparring partners, including Derek Chisora, who's ringside, Bryant Jennings, Andrew Tabiti. He's given them a lot of credit for the shape and focus he's in.
So far, he's boxing the perfect fight. He's boxing, lovely jab, keeping it long, landing long, hard, straight right hands, lead left hook. This is good work from Joshua. He doesn't need to get involved in any medium-distance stuff. Don't go into any exchanges. Keep it long and keep moving. He's doing the right thing.
A beautiful left hook to the body at the end of that combination, and a really relaxed feel to Joshua.
It's so disciplined and so measured, and that's what I like. You know, even when he's rocked Ruiz twice for me, and he hasn't jumped on him in either moment. So really relaxed, really calm. You hope and you pray that he's not going to tire at some point with this kind of game plan. I don't think he will, because it's at his pace. Ruiz isn't able to force the pace with the slow feet that he has.
No, but it's only 3 rounds in, and you know yourself, boxing a disciplined, concentrated fight, sticking to tactics sometimes can tire the brain power that drains the battery in a different way. So it's you know, he will tire because this is going to be taking a lot out of him too. But he's just got to stick to his discipline. Don't lose concentration. Don't get dragged in.
Brilliant trainer Manny Robles came up with a game plan last time. He's really ignited fire into Andy Ruiz's career. They're very close. So much talk about rematches, immediate rematches often going the same way. Floyd Patterson destroyed by Sonny Liston a couple of times. Cassius Clay then beating Liston a couple of times. Holyfield doing the same thing to Tyson. But we know our own Lennox Lewis exacted sweet revenge on Hasim Rahman in this, the 4th round of their rematch, and that was immediate. That night, Lennox Lewis changed his style, and that's what Anthony Joshua's done so far, Matt, tonight.
Yeah, really good game plan. Really, the Just spot on tactics, don't get involved, don't stand in front of him, keep moving, keep the guy who wants to stand and trade, keep him turning, make him use his legs. You know, Joshua's boxing well here. The jab's good, the long lead right hands are good. He's tying him up when he has to, boxing really well.
On June the 1st, when they got close last time, he wanted to trade, he wanted to swing with Andy Ruiz. You see there, he tucked up. He just tied Andy Ruiz up and made it work for him. And these are the small moments that count the most. That's a brilliant jab there by Anthony Joshua. He's using that left hand as a gauge, and then he stiffens it sometimes. He's mixing it up. It's lovely boxing here from AJ.
Utilising the reach and the physical advantage he has, not in weight, but in technical skills and in length. And Ruiz trying to get close and looking to unload a combination.
Ruiz is creeping in. He's creeping in at him. He's getting closer. He is definitely getting closer.
This is what he needs to do. Andy Ruiz, bring the heat to Joshua. Really work the body. Try to get those hands down. This is better from the Mexican-American. But the jab of Joshua still a weapon.
Yeah, this is better for Ruiz, but Joshua's still controlling it with the jab, still snapping the head back of Ruiz.
Tries a right hook round the temple area. Ruiz.
He's expended very little energy, Andy Ruiz, in this fight so far. We're into the 4th round now, and it's all Anthony Joshua, but he is getting closer to Andy Ruiz.
Good jab to the body there from Ruiz.
And from Joshua, a right hand, but Ruiz inches forward. He's eating up some of these jabs, but you just know if Joshua's backed up into corners and on the ropes, and that's where it could turn around.
I just want to see Anthony Joshua really let go with a hard, straight right hand down the pipe. I want to see him stop Andy Ruiz in his tracks, because the pressure is being intensified minute by minute here. Anthony Joshua's having to wait. That's a good right hand.
Yeah, that's better from him. He's got to mix it up. The jab's really good, the movement's good, but he's also every now and then he's got to hit Ruiz with something hard just to keep him in his place.
A wild left hook from Joshua, though. It's that fine margin of whether he feels he's hurt Ruiz and whether he'll go for it. Right hand from Ruiz was a good one as he looks to end the round strongly, and he's hunting Joshua again at the end of the 4th round.
On the back of the head. Them punches were on the back of the head. He's got to be careful.
Joshua's legs just stiffen slightly there, and Ruiz having the best moments of the fight at the back end of the 4th.
If you want us to control him, lean on him, pull him in, all right? But we've got to be busy with the jab. The backhand will go off it. Don't go over the front foot, come off to the side. Control the range. Straight shots, hands up. Don't go for him. All right, come on.
Rob McCracken leading the way as he always has, but just at the end of the 4th, possibility that he could unravel. The bell came. He wasn't badly hurt.
No, it wasn't badly hurt. He was a little bit shook, moment instantaneously, but they were good, hard, solid shots. I just think he was buzzed. I don't think he was hurt as such, just buzzed for a second, but he, you know, shook it off.
5th round here, the 156th of Andy Ruiz's career, the 96th of Anthony Joshua. 21 knockouts in his 22 wins, 22 KOs for Andy Ruiz. Will this one end inside 12 as most predicted?
Ruiz just showing there at the end of the 4th round that it's still dangerous. You know, Joshua cannot afford to switch off his box to brilliant. Tactically very smart fight up to now. He's kept it at the distance he needs it. When they've got close, he's tied him up. He hasn't exchanged that medium distance, but Ruiz getting closer, pressing closer, keep putting the pressure on him. Joshua's got to stay sharp here.
Tony, all week Ruiz has been coming out with the old Mike Tyson line. It's all very well planned until you get punched.
Everyone's got a plan till you get punched in the face. We've heard it before, but the thing with it is, Adam, he's a fighter and he's never going to tire Andy Ruiz because he doesn't work. The output from him isn't an awful amount, but what he does do, he does very effective work in very short periods, and he's picking and choosing his spots here. Anthony Joshua's just got to remain disciplined everything off the jab and continue. The most important thing in this fight is he continues to dictate the range. He cannot let this fight get up close.
Blood trickles down the left eye of Andy Ruiz Jr., who's got some puffiness under both of them. Good work there from Joshua. A little bit of blood around the left ear of the man from Watford. Ruiz with the hopes of Mexico behind him, the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion. His good friend Canelo at ringside. So many willing him on.
I think he will start feeling the pace, and to be totally honest, Andy Ruiz had a good last round, but he forced the pace a lot more. He's actually now slowed down again, and his feet just are not quick enough to get close enough to Anthony Joshua in this round.
Is that because of the extra stone he's put on since New York?
Well, I think he hasn't got the quickest feet anyway, but there's certainly the extra stone won't have helped.
From Joshua. He's always had a good chin, Ruiz, only the one knockdown, and that was in their last fight.
Very disciplined display from Anthony Joshua. Even on the inside, he's not stupid enough and foolish enough to make the same mistakes again. He's keeping it long.
His jab's been brilliant tonight. His jab's been absolutely spot on, and even that lead left hook when he fakes the jab.
I just think Andy Ruiz is so wary of getting there. Them jabs are hurting, Matt. And I think that, as I say, at this kind of distance, Anthony Joshua is a brilliant boxer. Athletic, aesthetically, everything's great. Andy Ruiz has to make this fight a real dogfight to stand any chance of doing the incredible thing that he done on June the 1st.
An intriguing and so important rematch here in the world heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder knocking out Luis Ortiz when everything was going wrong for him over 6 rounds in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Looks like he'll fight Tyson Fury on February the 22nd. Anthony Joshua, well, that left hand's been a bit of a wand tonight.
Jab's been brilliant. Faking the jab, hooking off the jab, then doubling up on the jab. Absolutely brilliant, the jab tonight. His movement's been good, he's been nice and relaxed. He has generally tied Ruiz up when they've come together. Yeah, Ruiz had a good 4th round towards the end, but all in all, Joshua boxing really well.
He's been studying Larry Holmes. I think that's what he's been doing.
Studying Larry Holmes, studying Lennox Lewis. Great names, great fighters. And Joshua trying to prove he can become one of the greats. We know he's very, very good. Former world heavyweight champion, unifying belts, those great nights with Vladimir Klitschko and Joseph Parker, of course, when he won the WBO title. Then he went 12 rounds for the first time. Oh, and Ruiz just beating into the punch there. Back comes Joshua with a right hand. Action warming up in the 6th.
Yeah, Joshua landed a really solid uppercut. He landed a hard right hand as well. Ruiz landed a good left hook too. Good, nice exchange here. Action really eyeing up here in the 6th round.
It's amazing the difference it can make when you really genuinely believe a man can hurt you. Because that left hook landed clean. That was very similar to the shot that got him wobbled on June the 1st. And he's took it. I know he slipped the tongue out, which I don't like because I don't want him to be emotionally invested in this fight. But he seemed like, I've proved a point to you there, Andy. You know, you've nailed me, and I've took it.
Both have acclimatized well over here. Joshua's been here a fortnight, Ruiz 10 days. The cool night air, now late in Saudi Arabia. And Anthony Joshua circling around, utilizing those skills. Andy Ruiz Jr. just waiting for another burst, aren't you, where he really starts forcing the pace, because he's got to be behind here.
Yeah, way behind. Joshua really in a nice rhythm. His confidence is up. He's boxing beautifully. The jab's on point. His movement's good. Ruiz struggling to pin him down because the movement of Joshua is so good, but you know, he will get to him. He will have patches, he will have successes, and it's just how Joshua deals with that. Up to now, he's dealt with it brilliantly.
Right to the body from Ruiz. Has got a few home, but not quite as many as he had by this stage in the garden. Nice left hand by Joshua, in a lack of head movement from Ruiz, who just nods an appreciation there. And Joshua boxing beautifully behind this jab.
It's this style of boxing that's seen him to the gold medal in London 2012. It's the fleet-footed, the slick movement. and the lovely straight shots that won him that Olympic gold.
And we spoke earlier, Tony, the most pressure Joshua has been under since that Olympic final.
Definitely, Adam. Tonight he will have felt, and everybody else feels, his career is on the line, and that can ignite the beast within, and it can make you perform at a level you've never known you was even capable of yourself. And so far, this is what it looks like. This is a masterclass from Anthony Joshua. He's patient, he's picking his shots. That's poor from Andy Ruiz. He pulls the man down, whacks him in the body. But listen,
that's frustration from Ruiz.
It is, but all is fair in war, Adam. And you know, you have to be prepared for these things to happen. It's amazing amount of concentration Anthony Joshua is showing here.
That's a weary walk back to the corner from Andy Ruiz Jr., who must be getting annoyed that he hasn't managed to make a dent. There's a big gulp of air as he sits on the stool.
There's that left hook, Adam. He banks the jab, lead left hook, bang on the chin, beautiful punch. I mean, up to now, it's been pretty much a punch-perfect display from Anthony Joshua. Yes, Ruiz has had a few moments here and there. You know, I gave him the fourth because he finished so strongly and landed some good shots, but through 6 rounds, it's been all Anthony Joshua, really. It's been a brilliant display. His tactics have been spot on, and he's just got to keep this going now.
Canelo smiles because he knows he's on the big screen, but he wasn't before. He was worried for his compatriot.
Yeah, he has to be. Ruiz, he's being dominated, he's being outboxed, he's cut, he's been hurt a couple of times. Joshua boxing absolutely brilliantly. He's just got to keep this going now.
What's impressing me is how disciplined he is when landing a clean, hard shot. Everyone he hits so far in his career, he jumps on them. It's only once he showed this disciplined approach, and that was against Joseph Parker.
Second half of this compelling and fascinating rematch, and round number 7, when Anthony Joshua's world fell apart just off Broadway in early June. But it doesn't, at the moment, look like that's happening all over again. There was the threat of lightning earlier, Matt, and at the moment it doesn't look like lightning will strike twice, but Andy Ruiz Jr., dangerous for as long as he's in there.
Yeah, he's still dangerous. He's stalking Joshua, who's trying to cut the ring up. Doesn't have quick enough feet, really, to get to Joshua just now. But, you know, we're only in the 7th round here. Fatigue might set in later on, and maybe he does get close to Joshua. Maybe he catches him and hurts him. Still a long way to go yet. Joshua has to stay focused.
Ruiz being ticked off by very experienced referee Luis Pavon for around the back of the head punch. Joshua just seemed to me to be planting his feet a bit more for a couple of those right hands. He let go, he's softening Ruiz up. Will he try and take him out, or will he box his way through the 12 rounds and just settle for the points win? Ruiz has got to go for it more now, hasn't he?
You're spot on, Adam. He is planting his feet a bit more. He wants to hit Ruiz. I really think he wants to stop him in his tracks, because he won't enjoy moving this much, and it will end up fatiguing you, you know, as the rounds go on. So he knows he can hurt Andy Ruiz.
Right hand from Ruiz. When he gets close and he can get that hand speed off, it does spell a bit of danger for Joshua on the inside. Looking for the right hand, Joshua. Oh, and it turns into a touch of toe-to-toe. And that's what Ruiz will want here.
Yeah, but he ties him up, and that's the experience. That's where he's learned from June first. They came together, he tied him up, and the referee breaks them. He didn't get involved in a shootout. He didn't go into an exchange.
I think he's feeling the pace here a little bit, Anthony Joshua, and I think, you know, the second win will be coming within these next couple of rounds, and he's just going to have to see this round out and go and get his breather.
Just talking to Ruiz in there and banging his heart, Anthony Joshua. Ruiz, of course, who went 12 rounds with Joseph Parker, and he fights in spits. I think he trains in bursts as well back home in California, so you just don't know when another
good shot
will come out. And a right hand from Joshua.
You know, then he ties Ruiz up, and that's the smart thing to do. That's what Robert McCracken told him to do. Don't be getting caught in that medium distance exchange. Don't be hooking with a hooker. When you get close, tie him up, and that's what he's been doing, and that's good from Joshua.
What a setting. What a time it's been here. And the stage, we believe, gentlemen, belongs to Anthony Joshua. How are you scoring it?
I have it 69-64, Anthony Joshua. I had him only losing the 4th round so far, and even that, Anthony Joshua could have won. I just gave it. He looked like he stole that last round in the last 20 seconds with a flurry.
Yeah, and I've got it exactly the same, and I've seen it exactly the same, and I'd be shocked if anyone could see it any differently.
I agree, Mark, and I think, he's dictating the pace of this fight. I'm not going to lie, I do think there's drama ahead. I still think there's a twist in this fight, I really do, and it might be Andy Ruiz hitting the floor heavy, but I just feel that Anthony, he's going to get rushed at some point. At some point in this fight, Ruiz is going to put all his cards on the table and go for it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Up to now, Joshua's boxed a really disciplined fight. The tactics have been really good, but it takes a lot of energy to box like this, and Joshua's legs will be feeling it at some point. I think Ruiz is going to have his moments, and it's how Joshua comes back at him when that happens.
Tactically astute, following the game plan. Anthony Joshua boxing beautifully and reminding us all of his talent and quality. Andy Ruiz Jr. has been more flat-footed and frustrated. He's had 1 or 2 moments, but they've been few and far between. Just under 5 rounds to go.
Anthony Joshua is doing a very good job of making himself a smaller target in this fight. His legs are bent, he's dipping low, he's bobbing, he's weaving, and when they do come in close, that was a good body shot from Andy Ruiz. He locks him up, something he never even thought about doing last time out. That's another good right-handed body. He can't take more than 1 or 2 of them around.
No, these are good body shots from Ruiz. Joshua, he's leaving that left hand out there to try and measure Ruiz to keep him at range, but at the same time he's keeping the left side open, and Ruiz is dipping under and driving that straight right hand to the body in.
Lovely body shot to the right hand, top of the head as well from Ruiz. He didn't like that, Joshua, but he's been just getting some of these body shots home, and a jab to the body too. Ruiz.
Look at me. Hey, Joshua, pay attention.
Can't get emotionally invested. He cannot be emotionally tied to this fight. He has to stick to purely the game plan and stay to business. Andy Ruiz needs Anthony Joshua to want to get involved in this fight for him to stand a chance.
Another right hand to the body from Ruiz. This is a better round for the Californian, as he just attempts to get inside, and a right hand there, and Joshua just unsteady, and here comes Andy Ruiz Jr. Now what will Joshua do? Will he fight fire with fire, or will he try and stick to the jab and move tactics?
He's trying to hold at him, it's clever. He just needs to create that distance again now and be clean from the outside. That's very good
from Joshua. That's good from Joshua, mixing the jab up, head out body, and then getting back on his bike. Don't stand in front of Ruiz. Ruiz looking for the right hands to the body.
The legs are strong, and I'm going to be honest, guys, Ruiz is getting more and more frustrated as the round passes. He's got one big hurrah in him, Andy Ruiz, I'm pretty sure of it. I don't think this is it right now, but I do think it's going to come.
Right to the left from Ruiz. I still think he's dangerous, Tony. Joshua just all at sea there and holds on. Better from Ruiz, much better.
I give Ruiz that round. That's the 2nd round he's won in this fight for me, and he wins it purely because he roughs Anthony up close, and it's just, I don't think, yes, he's landed 2 hard punches in there. AJ lands more hard punches, but they didn't have the effect that Andy Ruiz's punches had, in my opinion.
And there was the slight worry again of the vulnerability and the way the defence has just come apart at times.
Yeah, and I think he was okay actually by the shots, but I just think there's a little bit of panic on him when it happens. I think Ruiz letting those shots go. I think maybe a bit of demons from June 1st come flooding back a little bit. There's a little bit of panic, but ultimately he ties him up, he survives the moment, and then he gets back on the jab, and you see Canelo there cheering Ruiz on.
What worried me, Matt, was his eagerness to engage, because he wanted to really engage there. He didn't.
That's his pride.
Andy Ruiz Jr. getting closer, getting success. It's happened much later in the fight than many would have thought. We felt he'd really go for it. He said it was round 8 at the beginning of the night, just take off where he left off in the garden, but he's getting going in the latter parts of this fight, Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua under the cosh, under pressure in the 8th round. Back on the jab, the corner are screaming at Joshua. Manny Robles and Andy Ruiz, his father over there, calling for Ruiz to really take the fight to Joshua now.
But again, you see Joshua there, when they came together, he just grabbed hold quickly, tied him up, and the ref waited, came in and broke them. But that was he didn't do that on June 1st. On June 1st, when he got hurt, he tried to exchange, he tried to trade, and he wasn't in a position to trade and exchange, and got hurt. And what happened there. He had the discipline to grab a hold of Ruiz and nullify the situation.
Some people said he was silly to go into an immediate rematch, as Ruiz clubs him again with a couple of hooks.
Ruiz is struggling to make up the ground here. The distance is being made bigger by Anthony Joshua, and you know, he's more relaxed because he's further away from Ruiz. I also think Ruiz is wary now himself. You know, he's felt a number of heavy shots tonight.
Yeah, he's been nailed with several hard shots, straight right hands, even stiff, hard jabs have snapped the head back of Ruiz. He's felt them, but you know, he's still pressing forward because there's only one way Ruiz can win this fight, and that's to keep coming forward.
Joshua's come in almost a stone lighter than he did in New York, and that was to box his way home. Body shots as well, as he's still got the same power, Joshua, and Ruiz being heavier, and if he's got the conditioning, he's going to be closing that gap and still unleashing leather right the way through. Take loose on the left glove of Ruiz.
He's swinging every time AJ gets up close and tries to hold. He's looking to counter with the huge right hand over the top. He's not throwing heavy shots in this range here. He's waiting until Anthony tries to hold him or tie him up.
Oh,
beautiful
work. Lovely work from Joshua.
That's what I'm saying.
Ruiz with the right hand, and then Joshua has to give ground here in the 9th.
Every time AJ goes to hold, he's slinging the right hand on Ruiz, and AJ's got to be careful.
Yeah, because you know what? Joshua's hit Ruiz full-blooded shots here, clean, hard shots, and Ruiz has just shook his head. So we know he's got a pretty solid chin. He can take the shot. So I think Joshua's just going to stick to the game plan and box his way to a decision here.
Ruiz's cut's getting worse again. The blood's flowing from his left eye, and AJ's boxing brilliantly so far. He's sticking to the game plan. He's being so disciplined on the inside. The only thing I would worry about is that when he holds. And as he's coming out, Ruiz is not wasting any time or waiting for the referee to say break. He's just slinging that right hand over the top.
Anthony's father, nervous side, of course. His mum made the journey as well. The close family, there'll be plenty as well back home in North London and in Nigeria, where he spent some time after the first fight, just to reassess his world and remind himself that it's not just about boxing, but then he knuckled down, and this training camp looks like it's paying off.
Oh, he's gone back to basics, gone back to boxing training, less strength and conditioning, lost some bulk of the body, done a lot more sparring, a lot more pad work, and he's boxing really, really well.
And Andy's mum, who's come over, that tight-knit Mexican-American family, has 5 kids at home. He's even got one called AJ, Andy Ruiz Jr. Both the dads, both are lovely guys out of the ring. Huge respect between the pair in the build-up. It's been a fascinating and fantastic few weeks. And at the moment, in the ring where it matters, Anthony Joshua has won many more rounds, but Andy Ruiz Jr. still strong and still a threat.
Yeah, still dangerous, Ruiz. Landed a right hand there. He's walking forward. He's clever. He's patient. You know, he's trying to jab his way in. He's landed some good straight right hands to the body as well. He's dangerous. He's got very fast hands, Ruiz. So Joshua's got to stay very sharp here.
AJ can't allow himself to be backed up to the ropes. Andy Ruiz is trying to lay a plan here, and he's just needs to get, and then he's got, there it is. He's trying to get him to lean on them ropes, and then he wants to explode.
That's where he needs to be. Get back into that center of the ring. Get off the ropes, back into the center of the ring, and
angles every time, man.
Absolutely.
No straight lines, just angles as he comes out. By coming out on the angle, he doesn't allow himself to be caught by that big right hand. It's a swing, it comes over the top, he throws him straight, he goes the body. By going back in a straight line, you can be caught with that right hand. But by coming out on the angle, if he pivots to his right, he comes away from it.
Jab again from Joshua. Discipline and control for the most tonight from Joshua.
This was the display, Adam, that I screamed from high heavens for, because this is what he was capable of doing. He's done this against Parker. It shows when Anthony Joshua has genuine fear going into a fight, he will show the opponent the respect, and this is what he's doing.
This is an even better performance than Parker, because Parker didn't really fancy it, in my opinion. He was happy to do the 12 rounds. Yeah. Ruiz is coming for it here. This is a better performance from Anthony Joshua.
Yep, I think it really is. I think it's a terrific performance. There is still time left, but at the moment, all the British fans back home watching will be mightily impressed with the poise that Anthony Joshua has shown tonight, executing the game plan.
I fully agree. I think it's such a different discipline side he's shown. As I said in the Parker fight, this guy isn't lying down. This guy is coming to win. He's given it everything he's got. He's just not able to make up the ground with defeat. Joseph Parker, after round 3, was happy to be, take part.
You know, he's boxed brilliantly and his tactics have been spot on, but you have had to have worked at this. To be able to put on this sort of a boxing performance, you've worked at this every single day in the gym for the last 10 weeks.
He's gone back to the drawing board, back to basics, the long hair.
Look at how relaxed he was. It's the end of round. That is the end of round 9. We're into round 10. Is that the end of round 10? Yes, that's the end of round 10. Anthony Joshua, has he ever looked as relaxed? Has he ever looked as fit and as sleek as he's looking now? It once again a clarifier, and it shows everybody out there that this guy is an unbelievable athlete. An unbelievable, because how many heavyweights do you know that can box and move and not be blowing out the backside after 10 rounds?
And you know what, Tony, all going well here in rounds 11, 12, and he wins this fight. I think he should stay it this way. I think it suits him a lot better. I think his movement's better. He's more agile. He's sharper.
What about this corner? What can they do in the last couple of rounds?
I still expect that last hurrah, Adam. I still don't think he's emptied the tank. I really, genuinely, this guy has got it in him to empty the tank.
Not as many twists and turns or high-octane drama as we had in New York. But Anthony Joshua boxing steadily. Here comes Andy Ruiz. These fast hands, can he get a few combinations off late on in the fight here to rattle Joshua?
Well, I think the good thing for Joshua, what he's doing is he's not allowing Ruiz to pin him on the ropes or trap him in the corner. His movement's been brilliant. See him there, getting off the ropes, back into the center of the ring. You know, his mobility has been absolutely brilliant. And like I say, that's a testament to that. He's coming down lighter and his movement's been so much better. His jab's good as well.
His legs have been tip-top tonight, haven't they? Obviously, the running and the boxing and dropping the weights and also his mentality too, the psychology of treating this as a job, a 12-round business execution.
Brilliant, Adam, and technically he's shown things tonight that improvements on his game. You know, this people might not like to see what he's just done there, but this is part of boxing, and he's showing that he's educating himself, he's improving his game all the time, and the weaknesses that he had, he's addressed. And that is the massive thing in boxing.
Tony, sometimes you have to tie someone up. That's the right thing to do, and it was then, and that's what he did. He didn't do that on June 1st. He went into a shootout, he exchanged, he was hurt, his pride kicked in, and he didn't know where he was, and he was throwing shots back. But, you know, tonight, he's boxed absolutely brilliant, with great discipline.
Right to the body from Andy Ruiz, who's got so much pride and heart and guts, and he'll keep trying to the end. Has he been disappointing tonight, or is it just Joshua's been brilliant?
Not at all. I don't think Andy Ruiz has been disappointing. This is Andy Ruiz when he's been trained for properly. This is Andy Ruiz when you know what he can do and how dangerous he can be. So, you know, don't get me wrong, Andy Ruiz is a very good fighter, and take nothing away from him. He deserved to win on June the 1st, because he went in with a man who had no fear of his punch power, and come a cropper because of that.
Exquisite boxing still, late on in this fight from Anthony Joshua. And look how fresh he looks.
Yeah, and bouncing up on his toes, popping the jab out. And you know what? That's really frustrating for Ruiz. Ruiz looks frustrated in there. He's not been able to get to Joshua, not really been able to cut the ring off or pin him down. Joshua stayed nimble on his feet, very agile. See him again there, changing direction, left, right, then back the other way. He's just constantly moving, keeping Ruiz guessing and turning. He's never allowed him to really get a foothold in the fight.
It's styles make fights, and this is the perfect style to defeat Andy Ruiz. What I would say is I know guys said we want to see him come in at this weight all the time. It'll be different horses for different courses. So would he come in like this to face Dillian Whyte? Absolutely not, no.
Springing his step at the end of the 11th round, and the crowd have been absorbed all the way through. They haven't had the numerous knockdowns that we saw in New York. A very different type of fight, and it's a fight that Anthony Joshua has looked fantastic in.
His jab's been brilliant. Never seen his jab looking as good. It's been absolutely razor sharp tonight. His accuracy, the speed of it, absolutely brilliant.
It's been a joy to watch, and I hope the boxing fans who have tuned into this appreciate it, because I know what you're all thinking out there. You want to see heavyweights knock each other out, but sometimes you have to understand and just appreciate the pure beauty and the mindset you have to go in there with to win a fight like this. Understand what Anthony Joshua's had to come back from. You know, the most painful defeat and embarrassing night of his career, and he's found a way to come back from that, reignite the flame in his belly and the fire, and get the job done.
Final round, world heavyweight titles. They are slipping away from Andy Ruiz Jr., who's held them for 6 months. Can he do anything in this final round? He needs a knockout. Glenn Feldman from America, our own Steve Gray, Benoit Roussel from Canada just in front of us. It must be very wide to Joshua. You can't see it any other way. They're very experienced judges. Can Ruiz do anything in the last 2.5 minutes?
Well, he's got to throw everything at him here now. He must know it. Well, he will obviously know that he needs a knockout, so I expect him to throw the kitchen. But that's easier said than done when you've got a fighter like Joshua who's moving so well and he's still so sharp.
Expect the last one.
Oh, big right hand.
Big, lovely right hand. He can't trade though. It's good, stay disciplined. Stay on that jab. There's no need to rush it.
From Joshua. Neat combinations.
It's lovely boxing. You know, it's technically very, very good, and it's cute. There's times when he's moving in the fight when he's needed to. He's made the guy miss. And let's not forget, he's also took a few himself tonight.
Yeah, and sometimes the best thing is to keep it simple, keep it on the jab, don't complicate it, don't get overcomplicate things, just stick to the basics. They're working for you, keep doing what you're doing, and that's what he's doing here tonight.
Fight to your strengths, man. Fight to your strengths. That's what boxing's about.
His feet have not stopped moving. The left hand has been quite outstanding tonight for Anthony Joshua. He has painted a gorgeous boxing picture over 12 rounds. Andy Ruiz has got a minute left. He's got to find something from somewhere, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
You know, a lot of credit to Joshua, not just for his performance tonight, but how he's prepared for this fight. You don't put on a performance like this, it doesn't just happen. You've been doing this every single day for the last 10 weeks in the gym.
Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Muhammad Ali and Anthony Joshua has locked himself away, and after weeks and weeks of preparation, he is on the verge of
regaining his kingdom.
His kingdom in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Let's also remember, this hasn't been a bore fest. This hasn't been a no-action fight. This has been a good fight. Both guys are cut. Both guys are throwing punches. Both guys have had the moments. It's not been boring, guys. It's been brilliant to watch, and it shows you the levels of Anthony Joshua.
Andy Ruiz smiles as another jab lands. He says, come on, but it's too late. It's been a masterclass from Anthony Joshua, who will be celebrating at the final bell. What a performance under pressure from AJ, and he delivers an emphatic points victory. There can be no doubt. The three judges will surely have it.
Glenn Feldman and Benoit Rousseau both have it 118 to 110. Steve Gray scores it 119 to 109. All three scorecards go to the winner by unanimous decision. The fighting pride of London, England, and once again, the heavyweight champion of the world, the man known as AJ, Anthony Joshua.
Redemption, revenge, reclamation in the desert for AJ, a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. Respect earned for Britain's Anthony Joshua. The belts are heading back to Britain. That was, gentlemen, a boxing masterclass.
Absolutely. From the very first bout, he came out and he landed that hard right hand that opened the column on Andy Ruiz. But it was his jab, his movement, his feints, the way he tied Ruiz up when they did come together. You could see he learned the lesson that he needed to learn from the June 1st loss. And Andy Joshua now is a better fight than he has ever been in his whole career.
And respect to Andy Ruiz Jr., who was on the end of a punishing 12 rounds, but he put every effort in.
The embrace between them
nice
here.
scenes.
These guys have got so much respect for each other. And do you know why they respect us? Because they've earned it from each other. Tonight, Andy Ruiz will realise he's coming with a man who has fully expected to be in the fight of his life tonight. He's not coming to turn up just to turn up and expect to walk home with his belts. He turned up tonight, and he turned up as a man with his career on the line. It's a fantastic performance, a brilliant display from Anthony Joshua. And it just shows now he goes from strength to strength, because let me tell you guys, he's shown another string to his bow tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Showed not only is he a big puncher, not only is he a good finisher, but he's shown that he can box a disciplined, tactical fight and keep it going and stay concentrated and not lose focus and keep it going for the full 12 rounds. Brilliant, brilliant boxing performance from Anthony Joshua.
Belts being handed out to family. Anthony Joshua back on top of the world. And he can look forward to a 2020, mixing it maybe with the likes of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Their claims to be the best heavyweight still stand, but Anthony Joshua stands tall here in the desert in Saudi Arabia, and he is